Hello everybody, welcome to DIY Dream Weddings UK. My name's Kim and I create bespoke wedding bouquets and connect with you online to create the bouquet of your dreams. And a lot of the projects I do here are very offbeat, so they don't look like the traditional wedding bouquets if you're new. So if you're new, welcome, and if you're not new, thanks for coming along again to have a look. And thank you for all your support so far as well. Okay, so this is a new project and I've just made all this up, and I did forget to put a hole for the handle, but I did think it did make me think that you could have this as a centerpiece as well. It's not finished, it's just the start of something new. And this lifts up and is like a jigsaw puzzle, so that kind of links together. So this is made of craft foam. The jigsaw, surprise surprise, is made of craft foam. You could do it out of cardboard or whatever you like. You just got to get the depth right here. So and I thought what you could do is you could have like maybe a picture or something under here, or a message or something nice. And what I thought was I would put some flowers onto this jigsaw puzzle and make it into a bouquet. So you've got like some little secret bit underneath, or maybe you might want to have it on display. You could even just have it without this puzzle in the middle. Okay, so let me know what you think about this unusual idea. It just came into my head and I just thought, let's just do this then. And this is where it's led me. So yeah, so if I take these out, you've got this cardboard on the back and this frame that I've made, and I'm going to show how to do all of this. And then you've got the backing of your bouquet, or you might want to have it as like I said, as a centerpiece of some kind, just as a frame, you know, for your wedding. Okay, so let's start. So I'll just put this back on in here like this, and then we'll just we'll begin the project. So first of all, what I did was I cut this. Oh, just a second. I realise now that this has got my dress on the back, which we don't want. Let me just take the sticker off first. It will just come off, and that's it. Take that off. I don't really want to broadcast my address on YouTube. Okay, let's take that right off there. Okay, so I started off by cutting out a heart shape. Okay, and I did that with a template. So, well, basically I drew a heart and then drew round it. So I originally drew it on some thin card like this, okay, and then I drew round it onto this thick card, okay. So just draw a heart onto some thick card is what I'm saying. And now what I'm going to do, so I've got this is just to show you what the frame's like when it's separate, because you're going to be sticking it like this onto the cardboard, and then you'll have another piece that will be bigger than that. That will go inside and in the middle there. Okay, so I'll show you how that goes together once I get to that. But what I'm going to do now is make this frame piece, and how I'm going to do that is I'm going to draw around this, and you need two of those. But you want to draw around your heart. It's the outside of your heart, which is what I drew around. I drew around this to make this, so I'm going to draw around that again. Or I could draw around the cardboard, it doesn't matter. Draw around your cardboard, your thick cardboard, that's the easiest way to show you. Okay, and once you've made it, draw around it onto your thinner cardboard, or you might have a thicker one that you might want to use. It's up to you, doesn't really matter. Okay, there we are. It's just you need to get that thickness right for the puzzle, okay. And I'm thinking maybe I should lay this 3 times instead of twice, but I'm going to leave it as it is, I think. Very indecisive, I'm sorry about that. So draw around that, because what you want is you want 3 heart shapes, because you want 2 for your frame, which I just showed you, because you want to double those up, and then you want a third one for your backing. Okay, so you want 3 of these heart shapes. I'm going to have to get some more cardboard out of the cupboard. Okay, these, and you do another one as well. Let's just show you. There's something hanging off of this cupboard and it's glass, and try not to knock it too much. There we are. Okay, so do another one. Okay, I'm just keeping that to one side because I might want to use the other half of the cardboard. Okay, so just draw those out. Okay, and then what I did was my frame, and how I did that was I took my template or my frame that I've made, or what we can do is freehand it on the inside. You can freehand that heart shape on the inside if you want to. Now what way around was that? We'll do it this way. This is close enough. It doesn't matter if it's not terribly accurate, as long as it's it looks like a heart. Okay, so then I just draw around, and this actually does the shape of this does, sorry, the size of this does tend to change throughout the project anyway. Okay, so that's quite thick, but you might want to cut it a bit thinner. That's fine, you can do that to make it fit later on. Okay, so we want 2 of those. Okay, probably would have been better just to draw around this. Actually, it might have been a bit more accurate, but really doesn't matter. You can cut it down if you need to. Okay, so you just do. So you want 2 with frames and 1 that's just for the backing, so you don't, it just needs to be a heart. Okay, so we're going to cut these out. So I'm going to show you how to make the frame bit first, because that is basically what I did first. Okay, so there's a lot of cutting and sticking for this. I've got to think I think I'm going to do this one in pink. Okay, and I'm going to just do this as close to the shape that I've actually drawn out as I can. Okay, just cutting this out. I was going to cut them first, but I wanted to show you how I actually did it, you know, a bit more from scratch, you know. So there you go, that's that. Just take these pieces away. I don't keep much of my scraps anymore because, you know, I just don't have the space for them anymore. So it's really good to cut around this one. And I found it just makes everything really cluttered. And unless it's big pieces of cardboard, if it's big pieces of cardboard, then I keep the scraps, but otherwise I don't. Well, so I'll let you know what I've been up to today. I went for a walk with some people that live locally to me. They have like a local sort of health walk, so I went on that this morning. So that was nice because I met someone new, which is I really do like to socialise, so it's nice to meet new people. I like to meet new people. Might have to cut that. It's quite awkward, that bit. Yeah, and it's a 40-minute walk, and it's a circular walk around a sort of like park and museum, and it's just nice to exercise. I find I need to exercise now at this time in my life, so what with all the little problems I have, so it's nice to keep everything a healthy level, if you know what I mean. So I don't know if you're the same as I am with your health. You like to keep an eye on things if you can. And I'm not saying I'm a health freak, because I'm not. In fact, I'm not really one for exercise, and if I didn't have to do it, I wouldn't. But there's certain things, like I said, there's certain things in my life that force me to be more physical. So that walking I find very an easy an easy exercise, basically, just walking around. And if you've got company, I find the walks don't seem to be as long. They don't feel as long because you've got company with you. And you can walk in all sorts of different places. So you could just walk around the block where you live, or you know, it's just so versatile in that sense. On holiday, there's different places you can walk when you're away as well. So you can do it anywhere really. So that's why, you know, it's just something that I enjoy doing. Even if I'm on my own, I don't mind doing it. So there we go. So that is that. And we're going to do the other one, cut the other one out. And we recently did take a little bit of a holiday to Canada as well, which was really nice. And we went to, my husband likes to travel just like I do, although I do find, like I said, like, because I'm not as fit as I was, I find it a bit more difficult on the plane and things like that. But we went to Nova Scotia. So if you're from Canada, we came to your side of the world, and we went to you might have heard of Dollarama and what's the other one? Value Village, which we visited a few times because my husband is, when we're at home, my husband does like the charity shops. He likes to get a bargain, so we did that and we got some little bits in there. Dollarama, I like Dollarama when I thought, gosh, there's so many crafts in there, which is really nice. And they had some different things in there. So I bought a few things that were a bit different in there for another project that I'm doing. So that's the frames, and you can see they're about the same sort of shape and size, which is what you want because you want to stick those together. Okay, and then you've got your back, and your back will go behind this. Okay, behind this. So let me so we'll cut this other piece out and then I can show you what I mean by the back of this. Yes, more cutting, I'm sorry about that, it's more cutting. But if you're Canadian and you're watching, let me know. It'd be lovely to be in contact with you, you know, just to see if you know that. You must know what these stores are like. And we drove around looking for these shops, thinking that most of the second-hand shops would be like they are in the UK. In the UK, a lot of the second-hand shops we call charity shops, and they're on the high street, whereas yours were great big shops on outside complexes. That's what we call them here, an outside complex with lots of shops, and it's almost like a supermarket. So totally different experience to home. And I did go in Michael's, but to be honest with you, Michael's wasn't quite as impressive as Dollarama, I thought. It was a little bit more, the displays were different than that, but I thought Dollarama had more different stuff to the UK. That's what I thought. Okay, so heading off the shopping bit, we're going to go back onto our project. And what I'm going to do now, so I'm going to show you what happens here is that goes on the back. Okay, so I'm going to glue these two together and then stick them to this piece. And what I've realised once I started to do this was that this piece on the back doesn't have to be the same size as the frame, as long as it's within the frame. Okay, hope you understand that. So you could have a smaller one. That's too small, but to show you really, it's too small. And it doesn't have to be right up against the outside of the frame. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to glue these together. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to just glue them so the centre piece is is a bit more aligned than the edge, just so that if I need to cut some of it out, so it's more level, I can. So that's my logic. Okay, so we're going to use some hot glue for that. So let me know if yeah, it'd be nice to know if you've been away, where you've been. You know, it'd be nice to know what sort of holiday you've had, whether you've had the same sort of experiences as I have. We went to Nova Scotia, and we basically travelled a circle around Nova Scotia, and we did all the Airbnbs, not all of them, but you know, the Airbnbs. We stayed in the Airbnbs en route, and it was like a little holiday that my husband had organised, and we travelled by hire car, so that's how we did that. Okay, that's how we did that. And yeah, it was just a lovely 2 weeks. Sorry, I've got a bit of a dry throat here, and you know what? My glass of water is on the other side of the room, so that's great. I'm normally more prepared than this, but I didn't know if I was going to come on or not, so there we are. So that's your frame. And then what I did was, rather than sticking that straight on, what I wanted to do was, sorry, just a second, everything's sliding off here. Rather than ribboning it round like this, okay, I thought what I would do, because I wanted it to be neat around the edge and on the inside of the frame, okay, I decided to ribbon it first, okay, and what I did was I half ribboned it, so I can remember how I did this. So let's just cut this down a little bit around the edge where it's not quite working, just where you can see the underneath bit. We want to make sure that's semi-level. I say semi because it really doesn't matter too much, because you're going to be ribboning around this around this frame. So sorry people, I'm going to have to get my water, but I will leave you with we're going to do it in this pink, okay. Just get a frame, get some water. You know when you've had something to eat and your throat's just all hairy, I hate that. Okay, right. So how we're going to do this is, trying to remember how I'm doing it all the way along, trying to remember exactly how I did this. So sorry. I did, first of all, I did this end piece like this. So I normally wrap that round the end like that, so that that's covered, okay. And let's just, I like to seal the ends of my ribbon off. You probably know this already because you've seen me do a few. If you've seen me do a few makes, you know what my crafting habits are. So I'll show you. I'll show you how to do this, and then I think that's as far as I'll go on this particular project for now. But I like to bring that right up to the peak there, and then what I do is I bring that ribbon round like this, and the same on this side, okay, like this, and that covers this peak bit, because this can be quite difficult to cover on its own, okay. Right, okay, then that middle piece on the other one I'm going to cover with the flower. Okay, I might cover it with a flower at the top here if I can't quite ribbon that. So what I did was, I just basically, I'll show you how this works. Just cut that there. I hope this makes sense to you. I just ribboned half of this, so I didn't bring this ribbon right round the back, okay. I did half. So what I did was, is I brought this ribbon up and I stuck it like this, okay. And then I stuck this end like this, and I left this piece. I left this piece loose, and I'll tell you why I did that. Because think about this heart, and I can show you. When we have these pieces, we want a ribbon This is how I want to do it. I'm going to stick this piece to here, okay, and then I'm going to ribbon all the way round to the back, okay. So so that's how I'm going to do that, because I want it to be nice and neat. And then when we get to the back, we'll stick something on the back to cover all the ends up, okay. So just like this one, just the same as this basically. So we're just gonna, you can see how neatly that's tucked in there, and that's what we're creating, okay. And then on the back we're going to stick some on the back to tidy that up. Before I stick that card down, I'm going to make this into a bouquet, so I will cut a hole here in the middle for the handle. So make sure that I do that. I didn't do that last time, but that was just a prototype anyway, so that's fine. So that's what we do. So we're just going to ribbon. That's all you need to do now for the next bit of the project. Do the cutting out and everything, and then start ribboning your frame, okay. Just like that, all the way around. And don't worry if you've got this gap in the middle here, okay. You can cover that with a flower or something afterwards. That's what we're going to do, okay. So then we're just going to, sorry, my throat is terrible, it really is. So how I actually measure it is, I just basically measure it against the other ribbon that I've got there, okay. And it doesn't matter, even if they're a little bit long, because you can cut them down, okay. Or what you could do is you could just leave a piece of ribbon like that and then just measure it like that, okay. So we just basically overlapping this ribbon all the way round. Make it similar length if you can, don't worry, you can cut it down, okay, all the way around, overlapping it. Okay, you could cover it with something else. I just thought this might be just the right thickness for when I put the puzzle inside it, okay. And I measured my puzzle last, because as you can see, the thickness of the ribbon changes the width of the frame. So that's why I did it that way, okay. But as you know, if you watch my videos, as I start doing these things, I tend to change these designs as I'm doing them. So I'm just going to cut that piece down a bit. You don't want that to go beyond the frame really. You're better off having it within the frame, okay, because then you can bring your ribbon round better. Okay, so then we just keep going with that, and until you get to this side, and then I'll be back with the next part of this project, okay. So yeah, so there we are. So I'm going to do, like I said, you can see what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be putting flowers on top, and it's going to look totally different to what it does now, okay. Things do start off a bit ugly, and then they get a bit more pretty as we go on. Okay, so I'm going to be off now. So let me know what you thought about this project, and don't forget to like this video if you watched and you like what you saw. And also, if you like this video, you can subscribe and get more videos just like this one. And also it helps the channel to grow as well. And yeah, I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye for now, everyone.